Thank you, Nick. I knew there was one more button I had to press. Sorry. So anyway, back again. Sorry, I forgot to hit the mute button or the unmute button. It's the same button. You know what I mean. Hope you're all doing well. Nick, please let me know if I can hear you now. Mel Kemp has just said that I can't hear you, but I'm hoping now that you can. We've got about a 7-second delay, so I'm going to riff until someone goes, we are all good. Make sure you type the comment saying that you can hear me. Otherwise, I will not know. Just a thumbs up will not cut it. I need you to let me know that you can hear me. This is the joy of doing things on the fly and not being quite prepared. Mel and Nick both said all good. Okay, today I just want to talk about good things. Phil Stoneman, how you doing, mate? Great to see you checking in. And Cheryl, thank you as well. Okay, loud and clear, everyone can hear me. I want this episode to be all about good news. There has been just kind of a bunch of crappy news for quite some time, and I feel like the world kind of had a collective sigh of relief over the weekend. I realise that in the world of politics, not everyone is happy, but for me personally, seeing Kamala Harris, and I'm pretty sure I've got that right, the pronunciation right, Kamala, become vice president-elect, the first woman vice president, the first woman black vice president, and the first South Asian, first South Asian overall, not first South Asian woman. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I watched their speech yesterday. I had Frankie in my arms watching that, and it was it gave me goosebumps. It's something pretty special. It's tell me what you thought if you did watch it. I know not everyone. I'm certainly no expert in the world of politics, but seeing that happen over the weekend was definitely something very, very special. As well, did anyone keep up to date with Ironman Florida on the weekend where Nick, now I'm going to mispronounce his name. Hang on one sec. Nick. Oh, I had it written down. Chris, not Nick. Chris Nikic became the first athlete with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman. What I don't know is if he's the first athlete with Down syndrome to complete an iron distance. That I'm not too sure, but we're just going to go with completing the first athlete with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman, and it was something of just magic. It was so unbelievable to watch. We couldn't watch the entire thing, but I kept on trying to play catch up and check out the snippets throughout the day. I've got a little bit of footage from the finishing line. Let's jump over to that now with credit to Ironman Try. We're going to go and check that out. If you missed it, there's about 40 seconds of greatness as Chris Nikic becomes the first athlete with Down syndrome to complete an Ironman.
To him, Chris Nikic, you are an Ironman! You did it, Chris! With his handler, Dan Grieve. Amazing. Put your hands together again for the history in the making of Chris Nikic, our first Down syndrome to ever finish an Ironman. Simply amazing. Beautiful, just beautiful. Giving a hug to his dad, Chris, back there. Nick, his dad. Wow.
All right, tell me, you didn't shed a tear. I dare you to tell me that you did not shed a tear with that phenomenal effort by Chris Nikic at Ironman Florida. I don't know, I just think that just sends a message to so many different people, young and old. I just think that was such a powerful thing to witness over the weekend, and one of those stories that we all need. We need to we need to be inspired by other people right now. And if that didn't inspire you, we've just popped a poll up. If that didn't inspire you, then you have a heart of ice. I've got one person who said they didn't cry. And I'm only joking, obviously. You do not have a heart of ice. But yeah, it was goosebump material. And Mel Kemp has just said, I had goosebumps watching those last 2 miles on the run. Just a phenomenal effort. I actually saw a bit where they crossed to him live when he was riding the bike, asking him how he was doing, and he's very focused. He's just like, "Yep, good," just he on it, but loving it. And he looked pretty fresh at the finishing line there, in my opinion. He looked like he had an absolute ball, and that is something that dreams are made of. And like I said, I just feel like that's something that we across the globe needed to see. So congratulations to him and his team, obviously, as well. Fantastic work out there. Who knows what's next for him? Big things, I can imagine. So fantastic work. Guys, in case you didn't see our announcement last week, we are covering the Hervey Bay 100 race. We're covering it live here on Witsup. We will also be streaming it live to the Hervey Bay Facebook page as well. So all you need to do is jump on here or the Hervey Bay 100 Facebook page, and we will be covering the race live. So we're going live to Belinda Granger, who's going to be on the ground there covering it as our roving reporter. We've got a couple of other people with iPhones at the ready to, to cover different parts of the race as well. And I've got Luke Bell joining me here as my co-host, which will be awesome because we're also covering the men's race as well. So it'll be super handy to get his insights because he's raced a lot of the men. But also, I've worked with him before in terms of commentary, and he's a really good guy to work with in terms of bouncing off each other and just knowing his shit. So it's fantastic to have him on board. There's been just a couple of messages. Grace has said, I loved watching it. I'm unsure I could do that. So Grace, in a former life, was an Olympic distance athlete, and in the last year and a half or so has been dabbling. Well, I shouldn't say dabbling. She started with dabbling in half distance racing, and then continued in that world of half distance racing. But it sounds like she's maybe not too sure about stepping up to the full distance. Kristen just said, my wee Charlotte wants to do an Ironman when she's older. She's a 9-year-old para athlete and can't wait to do non-kid. Oh, I like that. That's awesome. Sorry, Kirsten, you did send me something. I've been insanely busy. I'll check out what you did send me. Apologies. It's been pretty crazy, but that is fantastic. Well done to Charlotte for having big dreams. I rate it. Fantastic. Nick, I think he's the first to finish an iron distance. Challenge family gave him props on their Facebook page for being the first to finish an iron distance. I guess he has done Daytona. Oh, that's fantastic. Thanks for that. Appreciate the insight there. So yeah, I think it's probably fair to assume that he's the first athlete with Down syndrome to finish an iron distance. That's fantastic. Kirsten said, so awesome to watch Chris finish. Been following his journey. Unreal work. Once again, just a reminder, next weekend we are covering the Hervey Bay 100 triathlon race live here on Facebook. It's on Sunday morning. What else did I have to talk to you about today? What other good news have you got? I feel like I'm feeling quite light this, although I got a bit of a cold over the weekend, so that sucked, but I'm okay. But I'm just feeling like, I can breathe again. Things feel a little bit lighter. There's just been some good news happening at the moment, which is fantastic. Here in Melbourne, we've got more restrictions that are being lifted a little bit more. Actually, I was going to say something, but I can't say that because there'll be people. There's going to be people who I'm surprising, and they're not to know, and they could potentially watch this. So I can't say that. Excuse me. Let's take a look at the results from the Did You Shed a Tear when you saw Chris finish, and it looks like we have got 83% of people, of course, were shedding a few tears at the sight of Chris Nikic finishing the Ironman Florida course. So I've got notifications popping up everywhere. Will you be tuning in next weekend? That's what I would like to know. Will you be tuning in next weekend for the Hervey Bay 100 live coverage of both the women's and the men's race, streamed live here on our Witsup Facebook page and as well on the Hervey Bay 100 Facebook page. I just saw Jordan pop up. I cried all day yesterday for a variety of reasons. Yep. I'm feeling you. Definitely feel like the world is in a better place as of Monday morning here in Australia. And I feel like my shoulders have gone from here to here. Maybe we need to go back and look at some of the other footage. My jaw's certainly better and my neck, so that's got to say something. Kama just said, good news, running, riding and swimming and hot chocolates with friends. Fantastic. That's what it's all about. Like I say, particularly here in Melbourne as restrictions are easing. Looks like we're getting a few people who are saying that they will tune in next week, which is fantastic. Great to see. Let me get rid of that. What other good news have you got? I think we saw in terms of news and races from last weekend, we actually do have the Sid Slam back again this week. So let's check out what happened around the globe in terms of racing.
Well, certainly a lot has happened in the last few weeks, but thankfully I think we have some hope and some strong women leading the charge. So Sid Slam for this week, here we and go. Talking about strong women, there was certainly a show of that this weekend, and it was a British celebration as both races were won by Brits. In Valencia at the final ITU World Cup of the year, it was Beth Potter who ran away from the field to take the win. Potter raced the 10,000 metres at the Rio Olympics, and then whilst being a full-time teacher, and then at the end of 26 went full-time athlete and changed to triathlon. 2019 won the ETU European Champs. She also finished second to Flora Duffy in the last World Cup race in Italy last month. Potter, another name to add to the already impressive depth of women ITU racing in Britain, and whilst won't be in the running for Tokyo because British Triathlon announced their team last week for the Olympics, Georgia Taylor-Brown, Jess Learmonth, Vicky Holland, Potter is certainly now putting her hand up for 2024. Potter was ahead of two-time Olympic medalist Nicola Spirig, who was in a sprint finish with Letha Tursk and Louisa Baptiste, showing Spirig definitely still has what it takes as she aims for another Olympics. Lisa Tursk, the young German, finished in third, 16 years younger than Spirig. From sprint triathlon to full distance in Ironman Florida, and it was the in-form rising star and one to watch Kat Matthews who took the win in only her second year as a pro and her second full distance. She finished fourth in Ironman WA in 2019 on debut. Matthews 8:40 and 50 seconds also catapults her onto the list of the fastest British women on all time, as well as gives her her Kona 2021 slot. Matthews has made the most of 2020, establishing herself as one of the best British women in endurance distance to half and full, to add to the depth that is already in that side of the sport as well. Sky Monch finished second, having chased the front of the race from the swim, coming into T2 just seconds behind Matthews, and in the first 10k of the run, Monch and Matthews were neck and neck, but Matthews was stronger on the day with a sub 3 hour run to take the win. Monch was second, also knocking 10 minutes off her previous marathon best time. Meredith Kessler took yet another Ironman podium as she ran it through to third place. Kona slots go to Matthews, Monch and Ruth Astor, who finished fourth, with Kessler already having hers. Good racing, good times, awesome women. See you next time.
Sid is getting better and better at those, or should I say, speaking faster and faster in those as well. So she nailed it again. I think she had about 5 more seconds up her sleeve until the time bomb went off. So Sid, congrats. Nice work for getting it done in under 120 seconds. Some awesome racing from the women at Ironman Florida, and great to see some people ticking the box for Kona next year. We also saw, like Sid mentioned, the British Olympic team being announced, which is interesting timing. I wonder why they chose then to sort of announce it. I think in our e-newsletter, we basically said it was the worst kept secret ever because people kind of knew about it, but there was no sort of build up in terms of the announcement or what have you. But I believe they've only announced one male, one of the men in the men's team. So yeah, anyway, they're done. So those women, I guess, can relax a little bit knowing that the Olympic qualification is over for them. So that's a good thing for those 3 women. Now, do you have any more good news before we start to wrap this up? I'm going to let you know that we have, I'm just going to add this link. Why doesn't it work? This happened last time. You add a feature link and then it doesn't want to come up. Oh, here we go. Boop. There it is. Sign up to our e-newsletter. We've just relaunched our new Witsup e-newsletter, which is called the Witsup Weekly Word, where we're pulling together a lot of stories and news stories from around the globe. Excuse me, and we're pulling that together into an e-newsletter. Jordan is the driver for that one. She basically said we need to share our Witsup WhatsApp message, because we spend so much time talking about incredible stories of women around the globe, and we thought it'd be a great idea to share those with you, as well as obviously Witsup content that we're producing as well. So we've popped that link up. Make sure you click on that link and sign up to our e-newsletter so that you can become privy to all of those conversations that we have as well. Last week, we did do our very first live podcast recording, and it was with Chrissy Wellington. It went fantastic. The only people who were allowed to watch that live were our Witsup patrons. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's something that we give back to our patrons. We're going to do it roughly once a month-ish, depending on who we can get onto the podcast. So that is a bonus for you if you're a Witsup patron. That podcast is still released about a week later to anyone who wants to listen to it. But the beauty of being a patron is you can watch live and then ask our special guest any questions that you might have. So that went really well. So super excited to be able to bring that to our patrons, and thank you for all of your support. Okay, so the next time you'll see this face will be on a Sunday morning. Next to me, there'll be Luke Bell. We probably won't be cuddling because that's, I don't know, I don't think that's what you do. But we'll be here covering the Hervey Bay 100 triathlon race live. Nick Mallett has just said, up to Hervey Bay by bike on Wednesday for a fun weekend. Volunteering should be a fun race to watch. Nick, are you volunteering there? Yeah, we need just a couple more people to help out with some of the coverage there. So if you've got a spare few moments while you were there, excuse me, give me a shout out. We might add you to the list of people who might be able to help us out on race day. Anyways, hope you're all doing well. It is a good news week. It's a great news week. I feel good. I hope you're all feeling good. And I will see you guys. I will see you all on Sunday morning, Facebook Live, either here or on the Hervey Bay 100 Facebook page to cover the Hervey Bay 100 triathlon race. Take care.